This is Luke 11 and 17. It says, "But he, knowing their thoughts, said unto them, Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and a house divided against a house falleth." I like to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostle elders of Great Millstone who rule well. And salutations to all you brothers out there pushing this word in love, truth, sincerity, and humility. Once again, it's the brother Shati from the Chicago camp coming back to you with what I hope is another quick and edifying sit down. In this video that you're going to see on TikTok is about, I think his name is Paul Scherer. Now, if you don't know who Paul Scherer is, he is the guy, the representative from Tennessee who made the comment that along with, I think that was HB 1020, something like that, in Mississippi, that would pretty much bring Jim Crow 2.0 back in modern times. He's the one that also added that he wanted to introduce hanging by tree as a form of execution. Okay. Now, not too long after this, he went and made a typical Edomite apology. Well, it was in poor taste and I used words that I shouldn't have. I should have been more thoughtful and respectful, all that BS. All right. But uh, what you're about to see is a bunch of young people that pretty much were not accepting this apology, and they had this man very much scared, as you are about to see from this video. So we'll let this play. All right, hopefully it'll play. Let me put this on pause and see if I can get this back on here. Okay, here it is. All right. You see Jake there. You see Esau there. You see a few of the other nations there. Okay. This statement from this devil here, Mr. Paul Sherrill, okay, it has people in arms. Okay, even his own people. And this just goes to show you that this kingdom is definitely on its way down in a very rapid descent. We're to read that again. This is Luke 11 and 17. He says, "But he, knowing their thoughts, said unto them, Every kingdom divided against itself is brought unto desolation, and a house divided against a house falleth." Now, I want to get this in the new linear because it goes kind of hard. Luke 11 and 17. It says, "He knew their thoughts, so he said, Any kingdom divided by civil war is doomed." And that's what we have here in America. Okay, we have the beginning stages of a great nationwide civil war because everybody is divided. Okay, you have uh, Jake versus Esau. You got the poor and the rich. You got male and female. okay, bosses, employees, okay, people who have food, people who don't have food, okay, uh, uh, heterosexuals against Pink Elephant Crew people, Republican, Democrat. This whole country is just completely divided. Okay, and the current political situation, the geopolitical situation going on in the United States and around the world doesn't make it any better. All right, this guy has put himself in a situation where not even his own people are standing up to fight for him. And this is why the Lord said that in that time, he's going to make I think it's in Isaiah. Yep. Isaiah 19 and let me see. I'm going to start at 2. Isaiah 19 and 2. It says, "And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians." And who's the modern day Egyptian? Bad Uncle Esau. Why? Because we are in a place of not only physical bondage, but spiritual bondage. Okay? And it says, "And they shall fight every one against his brother." And you saw all those people at that courthouse. Okay? There was a lot of Edomites in there booing this guy, letting him know that they disapprove not only of what he said, but of the person that he truly is. As we say in the world, hey, when somebody shows you who they are, you believe it. And this man sat down comfortably behind a microphone and told the whole country, because now it's all over the internet, that basically he wants to start lynching niggas again. And this new generation of Edomites, they call it woke culture, call it whatever you want to call it, but they're at the point where they're not going. Okay, these new age Edomites, the Gen Zs or whatever you want to call them, hey, these folks are born into a society where it's barely any money to be made. They can barely get jobs. They can barely afford rent. They probably won't be able to form a house. They're probably not going to get married. They're probably not going to have kids. The economy is trashing. You got violence, aggression, hate at an all-time high. And they're living in a society where you have World War III about to pop off at any moment. And I mean, by pop off, I mean go hot, like very hot. So in their mind, they're like, dude, we ain't got nothing else. We got to fight. And they're like, their own people are in the way. And this is why you have Egyptian versus Egyptian. And it says, "And they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom." Because every time these Edomites get exposed for doing something wicked, all right, you just don't have Jake in the crowd or predominantly Jake's in the crowd. You got people of all nations in these crowds. Because now folks are realizing that, hey, man, this whole government, they not only just messing with these so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, but they grouping us all in for the final plan themselves. Okay, and it says, "And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel of thereof." And how is the spirit of Egypt failing? By the men of the Lord. Or should I say, the spirit of Egypt is failing and the council is being destroyed because the word of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai that he's putting out in the world through his prophets. That's a better way of saying it. Because the men of the Lord are out there telling you that we've been telling you this guy's the devil. Nobody wanted to believe it until now, where it's clearly being shown who the wicked of the world truly is. Who are the true evil people of this world. This guy has been completely exposed. As the scripture says, what's that? How are the things? Obadiah 1:6. It says, how are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hid things sought up? And it's getting to a point where it's not even hid. They just putting it out in the open. What's that? Psalm 64:8. What it says? It calls their own tongue. Yeah, Psalm 64:8. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. As I said, this guy sat comfortably behind a microphone, basically co-signing on Jim Crow 2.0 and said, may I make a recommendation that we add lynching as a form of execution again. He told on himself. And you know, everybody who's his friend and close buddy, everybody knows they all feel the same way. And we're, as I mentioned before, we're at the point in time where you got a lot of Edomites that do not want to be associated with that. You probably have some Edomites out here that's like, look, we do want change, we do want peace, but hey man, you guys are messing up the program. We can't be attached to you because we're not down with that. And as we mentioned in the scripture earlier, it's created an environment where you got Egyptian versus Egyptian, and you got a house that's completely divided. And because this house is divided, it's now time for this devil and all his evil works to fall along with him. So that's all I wanted to say on this. I hope you all were edified. Until the next time, we're going to say shalom.